Hey guitar people, I got an ending lick for you today. We are going to use Folsom Prison Blues as an example just so we can set this in a musical context. But you could throw it into all kinds of stuff in like rockabilly or country or even in rock. And what we got is some E minor pentatonic and some chromatic notes thrown in there for flavor. And we're using hybrid picking on a lot of portions of this. You could play this with only a pick. However, like with me, it's a lot harder. If you're a good flat picker, it may be a lot easier for you. But if you want to get the why this all like comes together, how come this works the way it does, I'm gonna have a longer lesson of this available on my Patreon, 6-string twangin', and here I'll just throw some tabs up and we'll check it out. So let's go. Alright, so I'm going to indicate on these tabs a P for pick and an F for flesh. And that determines how you pick things. Sometimes you're grabbing like this, sometimes you're picking. Right? And if I do this really slow, it's going to sound like crap because there's a lot of pull-offs. So the volume on the pulled-off notes is not going to be quite as loud at a slow tempo. So when you speed it up, it'll even out and it'll be okay. But here we go. We got. Now when I'm doing that hybrid picking, my hand is like kind of in one stuck position the whole time. Like I always put my pinky down. I know some people are not into that, but that's how I learned to play, so that's what I do, which is really bad for bluegrass, what I hear. But anyway, I go I'm down here and I'm like flicking. So I'm doing a pick here, and then I know you can see my hand like tense up in here, and I'm kind of, it's more of a motion with my whole wrist than it is me actually like flicking. Yeah, I'm hardly flicking at all. It's more like a jerk motion with my wrist. Missed that. The cool thing about this lick is if you get a dead note every once in a while, it still sounds awesome. Because a lot of times hybrid picking and chicken picking, they go hand in hand, right? And what's the difference? A lot of people confuse this. Chicken picking is when you intentionally insert a dead note. Like, did you hear that? Hybrid picking is when you're playing anything and using a pick and your fingers, right? Chicken is that, like, it's like a... it's like a buck buck sound, right? But you don't have to use hybrid picking in order to get that sound. You can do it like using only a pick. In this case, we're kind of hybrid picking, but if you accidentally hit a dead note, you could call it chicken picking too, right? Like, I don't know if I can intentionally do it, but let's try. Yeah, there were some dead notes there. Like if I speed it up, like at my limit, you know, because I'm not really fast at this. There were some dead notes in there, and really, who cares which ones they were? Still sounds good because it's that country flavor that a lot of guitar players use. So it works out. You can hit bad notes. Well, no, I wouldn't say hit bad notes, but you can hit some dead notes and still be all right. Now, for Folsom Prison Blues, something that I've noticed when I play with other people is you are usually like playing it at a slightly higher tempo than what Cash recorded it as. Because on the original recording, it's like kind of slow. But when you get together with your friends, like everyone I've ever played it with, it's always sped up more. Some people play it really fast too. So I think if you're going to play it at a slow tempo, then maybe stick with the like original solo. If you're going to play it at a higher tempo, then all of this kind of stuff is going to... It's going to sound good. Here, let me... Like, when you do this really slow... Just... It doesn't really sound that great. It's lacking something. So if you can play it quick, it'll sound really good. Now on my Patreon, I'll go over and explain where everything comes from, including the whole intro that I just played, like that whole... So, wrong guitar. My volume is here. So, if you want to understand all of that, I'll tab it out and then I'll explain where it comes from, how we're getting those notes that we're getting, and I think when you understand that stuff, you can insert things into your own playing and come up with your own. So, hit up my Patreon. We'll go over that, and in the meantime, you guys just keep on picking.